Hi, I'm Ron.
I'm Judy.
And we're Full-Time Dream, and I bet you'll never guess what we got today. Welcome back, I'm Ron.
I'm Judy.
And we're Full-Time Dream. And today,
we're going to unbox one of our
Lectric e-bikes. We ordered 2 of them, and we got 1 of them today.
So let's have some fun.
Okay, let's get the box opened up here. We got the top on, cut the tape and pop the box open. And as everybody can see, it's, if you've seen any of the other videos, that they're packaged really well. So let's get the bike out of the box.
And this one's mine.
This one's the white step through, this one's Judy's. We got a small box that has the battery charger in it. So you got the owner's manual.
Do we have to charge this before we use it?
The battery's supposed to come fully charged, but we'll hook it up and just make sure of it once we get it put together. So here we have the battery charger and the cords. We'll put that back. Okay, what we have to do, according to the video, is cut all of the white zip ties and get all of the packing material off. Well, guess what we're not going to do today? We're not going to be able to take this thing for a ride because we didn't get a battery or keys for the bike. So the only thing that we could do with the bike is to pedal it like a regular bike right at the moment. But I think we're going to give Lectric a call because we'll go into a little bit more detail.
Okay, so the story goes, we ordered our bikes the second week of June, and they said 7 weeks to get delivered. They had given us a date of August, a tentative date of August 2nd that they would be labeled, and then we'd be receiving them. So we were getting really excited that they were coming. Comes along the opportunity for us to camp host in Allegheny for 2 weeks, and we're like, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if we could have our bikes, but we're not going to get them till we get back. Well, the next day we actually got an email stating that they could airship our bikes for an additional cost and that we would receive them within...
We'd get them 12 days.
We'd get them within 12 days is what we were told, because we made several calls to customer service to ensure before we paid extra for something that we would get our bikes in time so we'd be able to use them on vacation. We were only an hour away, so they would get shipped to our house. Ron would have to come back and get them, and but it wasn't too major a deal for us.
Right.
So fast forward, you saw the video where we received the one bike. Well, now we didn't receive it when we were supposed to. We were supposed to get it by July 28th, and we didn't get it till the Monday, August 2nd, I think it was.
Right.
So Ron ran home, got it, we did the unboxing of it, and lo and behold,
there was no battery in the box.
Yeah. Kind of hard to use an electric bike as an electric bike without a battery. And the reason we didn't receive the battery
was because of FFA rules, they can't airship batteries, the lithium batteries.
The lithium batteries can't go on the plane, and Lectric Bike didn't actually realize the batteries weren't in the boxes until they started shipping some of them out. So we did contact that day after we did the unboxing. Ron called Lectric Bike, and they were very nice. And now the other thing too is when we're in Allegheny, we have hardly any cell service. We actually have to drive 4 or 5 miles to get where we can call somebody.
Right.
We can kind of get internet at the store a few blocks away, but that's spotty at best. So we were trying to do all this while camping. So after we got the bike, we called them that night, and they said the battery was going to be shipped additionally, and we asked if there was a tracking, and they said no. Lo and behold, he did send us an email shortly thereafter with a tracking number for FedEx. So that was awesome. So when we had that. So we did get the battery for the white bike 2 days later after we received the bike.
So I drove home again to get the battery, and we also had the comfort package that was a part of the black bike that was here, so I was able to bring both of those back.
Yeah, our neighbor had picked that up the porch for us. We had a tracking number and knew that was here too. So now we got one bike and we can start using that one bike, and they're awesome. So now the second bike, we're following the tracking number, and this is a funny...
It wasn't supposed to be there until the day we got back home from the
Allegheny.
camp.
We were going to camp till Allegheny till we had to check out Monday morning by 11, and FedEx usually delivers around that time, so we figured, cool, we'll leave Monday morning, we'll get home, the bike will be there when we get home, we'll get the second bike. Well, lo and behold, we're checking our emails and stuff like that, and the bike has been delivered on Saturday, so it was delivered 2 days earlier, so now we got an electric bike sitting at our house, you know.
Yeah. So I drove it back to the house again.
So yeah, Ron drove back, got his bike, and
it's a good thing that we did, because it rained, and the bike don't want the bike sitting even in its box sitting out in the rain.
Right.
So I was able to pick the bike up before we actually got it, before it actually rained here.
Right. Which wouldn't have been bad, because the shipping inside and his did come with the battery. The battery was tucked into the box, so that's what the hold up with the second bike was, is that they actually realized the batteries weren't in the boxes, opened up the boxes, put the batteries in, and got them sent out. So, because actually in reality we were supposed to receive his bike first before mine anyway on their listing.
According to the tracking.
But we called Lectric because we did pay extra to get these, and we were told 12 days, and that's why we did this. And you know, right now money's a little tight because Ron's not working, so you know, every penny counts. And we did talk to Electric Bike, and they did make some consolidation on that, you know, extra fee that we did pay to get them on time. So we were very happy with the customer service we received from Lectric.
They have outstanding customer service, and there's a lot of people that are upset and yelling and screaming at these people. And
yeah, I was a little upset.
they stay very professional, and they talk away through, and everything that they say when they're talking to you holds water. So I mean, all in all, I think that their customer service was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they can't control the shipping. I mean, that's, if you've ordered anything recently, I mean, there's outages everywhere of parts and stuff, and the shipping is horrible, you know.
I do believe, though, that I believe after we ordered our bikes, it went from a 7-week shipping date to a 4-week, and I think that was something they probably shouldn't have done, because in all honesty, people are getting their bikes in 12 or 13 weeks, you know, so it's actually causing a little bit of a lot of angst by people, because that they're expecting their bikes earlier, and
right.
if they were up front and said, hey, these bikes might take a little bit longer, instead of a certain deadline.
Right. Saying there's 7 weeks, and then, hey, where's my bike, and why am I not getting it? And
that's the only problem that I've had with Lectric the whole way, is just the initial 7-week promise.
But again, they're working with their suppliers, so who knows who's making that. But yeah, like I said, they worked with every email we sent them, they answered. Some of them, you know, immediately, some took a day, but every email was answered.
And if not by another email, they actually called and made contact.
Right. When we called them, you know, it always said, you know, call volumes are high, but we never had any trouble getting through. They'd pick up in a few minutes, you know. So we were very happy, and like, you know, the fact that we got the tracking number for the battery right immediately afterwards, when they said they weren't sure about that. He after we hung up, he didn't have to do anything. He could have just forgot about it, but he went out of his way to make sure that we, you know, had the tracking number, and said, hope this helps, and it did, because then we knew the battery was going to be there the next day, and we were able to go home and get it. And we did get to enjoy our bikes down there for a bit. Well, you only got yours for a day, but
right.
Ours, we were there for almost 4 days with mine.
Right. Well, we were able to ride Judy's bike a little bit and get used to it, get the feel for what the bike was all about, and before we were actually able to ride or get mine to be able to ride it. But so we put 8 miles on Judy's bike before we got my bike. So, and then we went for a ride on the Sunday before we came home.
Yep, and we're going to be releasing those as videos. We got to show our bikes to people too, because people down there have seen them and heard about them, and they got to come over and check them out and stuff. So
that's the one thing about the bikes, they do draw attention. You get a lot of people looking, you know. It may be because there's a fat guy on a bike, but people were, you know, looking in the direction all the time. So.
Even when our UPS driver was delivering something else, he saw the electric bike sitting in the garage and he questioned them.
We just wanted to get the video out and let everybody know that we got them and that we enjoy them. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all about the bikes, leave it in the comments down below. And share it out with your friends and family. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. It really helps us.
I know.